Hi everybody, I'm Matt Epstein with Berkshire Hathaway. I'm here with Andy from GLD Design, a landscape contractor here in the area. So we are we're in the middle of spring right now, we're going into summer, and talk a little bit about what the difference between planting and getting ready for summer is here in the Los Angeles area.
Well, there's Los Angeles has many regions. If you want to talk specific about the valley,
Yeah.
the valley, there's a misconception that the valley is a desert, when in fact it's more Mediterranean. It's more similar to Italy than, say, Palm Springs. So you have a lot of variety. You don't have to just have a dead lawn or overwater your lawn to survive. There's a lot of variables you can put, a lot of variety you can use. You can use all kinds of things. But this is the best time of year for planting. Cooler nights and warmer days, things will grow. It's also a good time to warm up your lawns, to feed your lawns, to get everything going. And the rains have helped as well. There's so much green in the valley right now. So going back to the Mediterranean look, like I say, a lot of people come to me for landscape in the valley, and they say, "Oh, drought tolerant," or saving water. Do we have to put in cactus, and do we have to put in succulents? And you don't. You can put in things like lavenders and sages and salvias and all kinds of things, and grasses, even larger grasses that grow and have color and are water efficient. So it's a good time to hit your nursery, to hit your yard, and spring cleaning, spring
Okay.
up.
Let me ask you something about nurseries, because you just brought that up, and it's not what we talked about before. But I'm curious on something. On last Saturday, I needed a little house plant because one of my house plants, and I know you don't do house plants, but one of my house plants had died, so I went to go replace it. And I went over to a nursery, Armstrong Nursery over here, and I was blown away by how expensive they were.
Right.
And I said to Jane, my wife, I said, I'm not going to spend $300 on this little house plant. There's no way. So we went to Sago over by, which I know is not the cheapest. It's still
Right.
But the same plan was $49.
Right.
$49. Is there that big of a difference in nurseries as far as shopping for plants?
And if you went to Home Depot or Lowe's, you probably could have gotten it for $30.
Less money. Yeah. Okay.
And also, it's worth it even to hit these wholesale nurseries you see through the valley. If you drive
North Hollywood and stuff.
If you drive through the valley and you look at the power lines, you'll find nurseries all up and down. All that area is leased from the DWP by nurseries, and you go in there with cash, and you get a great deal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Terrific.
it's worth shopping.
Yeah, I was.
There's a huge markup.
Yeah. Wow.
Huge markup.
And I assume this time of the year is probably the most expensive time to buy
Right.
plants.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Supply and demand. So I'm interested in doing a new design of my house. Talk to me about what's the planning process of designing a landscape plan that you get involved in.
So when I go to a client's house for the first time, I try to get to know the people and I get to know the house. So actually, I walk the property. Well, I talk to the people. I get to know what they like and don't like. What's their vibe? What's their look? And I actually look at their interior as well. I get a sense of who they are, and then we walk the property. We look at everything, the existing things. We look at where the sun rises and sets. We look at big trees, shadows, and then I talk to the family, whoever it is, the clients, and talk about how they're going to use the yard. Some people are very active. They want to use the yard all the time. They've got kids or dogs or whatever. Some people just want to go out there and have a drink and contemplate their navel, lie in a hammock and look at a fountain. So it's really critical to get to know each other and develop, a sense of trust and open communication and see what they're like, and they also get a sense of who I am.
Okay. And when you hire GLD Design, do you like we spoke last month with an interior designer, and she worked. She has a design fee, and it ranges from X to this typically. Then she charges a fee for the work itself, which is she gets 30% of what the job is, but she gets all the stuff wholesale, so it's actually saving them money.
Right.
So how do you typically work the same way? Do you have a design fee? Do you have a
Very similar format. So I go out. The initial consultation is free. There's no charge, and then if we agree to work with each other, I charge an initial design fee. So to get everything on paper, part of that fee is for actually doing a real two-dimensional design, showing where everything is going to be, where all the plant material is, the hardscape, water features, existing trees, new trees, whatever it is. They get a sense of what it's going to be, and then we go through that design, and they have an option. They have an opportunity to like and not like, and then we can re-render, and then from that we also get a budget. A budget is really critical as well in our initial discussions. Is where do people, how much they want to spend, and how far it is. But as far as the fees, there is an X to Y. It depends on the scope of work, how big a project it's going to be. So there is, like I say, a design fee, and then if I supervise the installation, which I do on all of our projects, there's a fee as well. And yeah, we do buy wholesale, and but we do a lot of research. I mean, we've had clients say, we've gone out there and we've looked at plants and we can find it cheaper. And I say, well, okay, if you want to spend that time, but that's what you're paying me for, is my knowledge and my relationship with nurseries. I mean, oftentimes we can do a landscape job, and maybe we hit a big heat wave, a heat spell, or a rainstorm, something gets washed out, a plant gets hurt. We can swap it out. We have really good relationships with nurseries, and so the design, I want to see the design from beginning, middle, and end, and then afterwards as well.
So what would it cost typically? What's your what's your range for a design fee? I mean, a small job is what?
It's usually anywhere from like 1,000 to say 2,500.
Okay, and that's
and that fee, you get a finished design, and they don't even have to hire me. They can have that design, and they can hire another they can have their gardener do it. But they own the design.
They own the design.
Yeah.
So is it less money if they're going to go with you? I mean, let's say, is the design fee discounted or is it applied toward the install job?
Yeah, it's applied towards the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a deposit. It's a hold on our.
Okay, that makes sense. And in the in the world, I had GLD do my drought tolerant landscape about a year and a half ago, maybe a year ago.
How've your water bills been?
Oh God, they've almost disappeared. It's fantastic. I love it. I lived in my house for 22 years next month, and my water bills were ridiculous. I took out 6,000 square feet of grass and replaced it all with decomposed granite paths and beautiful succulents, and my house lends itself to that. It's a mid-century modern home, so it really lent itself to that. It did a fantastic job. But are there other options with water being as precious as it is right now? Are there other drought tolerant type of landscape designs other than just succulents? Because let's say these Cape Cods that are very popular.
Yeah. So there's a lot of the Cape Cods put in these roses. You see them all over the place, white iceberg roses, and they don't use that much water, and they flower almost year round, and they don't have to be pruned the way every other rose does. So that's not a bad idea for the Cape Cods. But also, like I say, lavenders are beautiful. Lavenders start small and they get massively large. They flower up. Sages, salvias, they all have these beautiful purples and reds and blues and yellows. And what's very cool in these gardens, you get actually sort of a cottage garden or a New England garden, and it attracts birds and bees and butterflies, and it's just great being in the garden. I have a mix of all that in my yard, and we're out there all the time, and there's some kind of new creature out there, and there's always bees. I mean, we talk, you hear about the bees are disappearing. Well, I'm doing my little part to keep bees happy in our neighborhood.
Very cool. And is there a difference? You're a landscape contractor, so you've got your contracting license. Is there a difference between landscape designers, landscape contractors? Is there, or it doesn't really matter?
So there's landscape designers, contractors, and architects.
Okay.
A designer will come in, which is what I used to be. and we'll just essentially do a design and sometimes just walk away from the job, and then the people have to find somebody to install it. And you can find crews, good and bad, all through Los Angeles. A contractor is a more responsible party, a little more educated, and can do more things. I think you want a licensed contractor when it comes to irrigation and lighting and hardscape, concrete paths, things of that nature. And also he can sub out if you want to do a canopy, an overhang or something like that, or even a driveway, and also proper drainage. All that is really critical. So landscape architect is more educated and is not necessarily a contractor, is more of an advanced designer. So, but what's cool now with the advances in technology is you can design a garden not just in 2D but in 3D as well, and you can see the garden from all angles. You can we've taken photos of existing yards and then we remove things and add things, and you can see what the garden's going to look like.
That's great. And your crews do, like on my house, you have your crew there that's doing the monthly service as well.
Right, that's another feature we offer is maintenance. People think, a lot of the drought tolerant gardens, people think it's maintenance free because you put in some plants, you've removed grass, it doesn't have to be mowed every week, but it does need maintenance. Things have to be cleaned up and kept clean, and the irrigation, it's not the old pop-up sprinkler heads anymore. There's drip lines, and they always have to make sure they're not clogged or broken or animals have gotten to it. So there is maintenance as well. So we provide that service as well.
Okay. And you won some kind of award recently, a customer service award. What was that all about?
That was House, the website House, HOUZZ. When we do a job, we are very honest with our clients, and we ask them for feedback. And so we've gotten some really great reviews that you can be seen on our website, and we got a lot of great reviews on House. And so, unbeknownst to me, I didn't solicit or anything, but I got this great. It was a customer service award for 2015. So
that's terrific. Good for you.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's good for you. All right, terrific. Anything you want to add?
Just remember that, like I say, when at the beginning, the beginning that we're not living in a desert in Los Angeles, and there are options. Also, even simple things like if you do have a yard that has grass and traditional plants and things like that, even if you just something as simple as mulch, you just threw mulch in all the beds, that will cut your water bill. It will also preserve the water in the ground. You can water a lot less, and it's just healthier. It fights back weeds, and so that's just a really relatively inexpensive option for people. Okay. The other thing is also, if you're looking for somebody qualified, if you're looking for a good landscape designer, ask your neighbors. Look at listservs, look at websites, look at who people are recommending.
Yeah.
The best thing I think is word of mouth, and my best clients are referrals. So.
Yeah. Okay. Terrific. Well, if you want to see any of my other interviews that I've had in the past, you can look at mattepstein.com. If you have any questions, you can contact me at 818-789-7408. And how do people get a hold of you?
You can call me 818-497-4679. It's GLD Greenscape Design.com, and we're there.
Terrific. And a couple people have said that you look kind of like me, and I've been mistaken in the past as far as people have said that I look like you, which is kind of strange because this is my big brother Andy. Thanks, everybody.